Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle's going to be joining me shortly. B-Dog is busy recording content. He has been sick for, well, his leg has been worked on for the last couple of weeks, so he is out of content on his channel. And I'm like, hey, you want to do Coldborough? And he's like, well, yeah, but... So he needs to get his stuff done. So he's going to work on his content tonight, but he will be joining us again, so no worries. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold, so I do sound kind of nasal tonight. We're going to be taking this equipment and shoving it. I'm going to start harvesting while I'm waiting for Kyle to show up. We're pretty much done with the baling part of this farm. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be baled, so I'm going to put this round baler away. Actually, you know what? The round baler I'm going to take down. I'm going to run it down to the sheep farm, the sheep/cow farm, because that's where we primarily use it for the grass to feed them. And we'll start our collection of bales later tonight. But we have quite a lot of bales. I don't think we're going to keep all of them. We'll keep some of them, though. But a lot of them can probably get sold, which... that'll be a good thing. So I had a good day today. I went to lunch with a friend. Like I got up, I had to do some mailings for some brides. Had a USB hard drive I had to mail out. Oh my gosh! Look at all these bales on the road. Crazy farmers. So I did that. Oops! I don't want that on. I want this folded. There we go. So I took care of that, and then. I went to lunch with my friend Tim, and then Mark and Ryan joined us, my sons, and we had a lot of fun. And then Mark and Ryan didn't want Chipotle, so I took them to Arby's, and they ate Arby's, and I hung out with them. And then I went grocery shopping, came home. Just an average day, but I did do some work in my garage. First of all, I got a new remote. I have 2 cars now. My old cars were all like kind of luxurious vehicles, luxury vehicles, sort of, you know what I mean? But they had some advanced features, and including that, you know how you have the remote when you have a mirror in your car and you have a remote, and it's like it's built into the mirror. Like my cars had that built-in remote, and so you just press the button and the garage would open, and you have that little. But it's in the mirror. It's not like a separate remote. So my Genie remotes, I only had one left from like the original house remotes. So I went to AutoZone, and they had a Genie remote for like $40 or something, or $30. So I got the remote and got that for my car, and then I programmed that today, and then I had an issue with let's see, do I need this tractor back at the farm? Yeah, I do, because it's the front motor. I had an issue where my floors, like when they did some construction in our house, and I had a door that was all broken up, and they took it out and replaced it with a new door, and I have laminate flooring downstairs, and when they did that, it changed the length of part of the flooring. So I had these 2 gaps that were showing up in the floor, like the floorboards would slide, you know, with a laminate floor, they float. And so there was like a 5-inch gap in one of the floorboards and like a 3-inch gap in the other one, and you could slide them back and forth like puzzle pieces. So my friend let me borrow his miter saw, and today I cut pieces to fit that where it's like sliding, and I had to pull the whole floorboarding up and insert that into the gap. So it was cool though. When it was all said and done, it was a good, it came out nice. I'm going to get those bales off the road. There's Kyle harvesting. Only problem with this farm, and this is just a pet peeve, they've done a little too much scenery going on here with the hedges and stuff, and you can see my frame rates are starting to drop down into the 40s and 50s. Where usually the game runs at a pretty smooth 60 frames a second. That's a little bit aggravating to me, but that's life. Life goes on. So we're going to get these stacked. We really need B-Dog. We're going to have some money after this, so we're going to, I don't know, I don't think we need to buy any more equipment necessarily, but we're going to need to take a look and see what we have for fertilizers and stuff like that. Alright, so we're going to pick up some bales. So the fun continues here on Coldborough. I think we're on day 2. Not sure, but pretty sure we're on day 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lob these over the hedge. Right onto field number 2 here. All right. So we're going to get this lined up. And I'm going to lift this. Boop. Stay right there. At least with these hedges you can drive through them. Some of the hedges you can't. Yeah, and I brought it right back out to the road. Come on. Push that bad boy back onto the field. Ah, Arthur. Fail. Okay, let's try this again. I'll have to start over. Yep. Ah, dang. Almost. I was trying to perform like an interception there. Intercepted. It's like the one place where the bushes should be solid. Should be right here to prevent this from happening, but no such luck, sir. No such luck. Nope. Let go. No touch. No touchy. I suppose one could bash one's tractor through the hedge in real life. But in real life, the hedge would also stop these from rolling out onto the road, so maybe that's why they do it. Why do the English and French do hedges like that? Is it just to show one's property line, or is it privacy, or, I mean, what are they? I mean, obviously, part of it would be to keep people out, but, or keep animals in, I don't know, or keep animals out, maybe like keeping cows out. We don't do that here in the States. Their fields are wide open, kind of like North Frisian marsh. I've been asked to do, people ask me all the time to do different maps. I get it all the time. Like every video almost feel like, hey, are you going to do this map? Are you going to do this map? And usually my response is a kindly, no, I'm too busy. You know, like I have my series that I'm doing. I don't really need to add another series because I've already got 4 that I can barely keep up with. So my answer is usually no, but I will say somebody was asking me if I was going to do old streams. And I got to admit, I really like that map. I've been playing it for my personal farm. And it's really the first mod map. I think the problem is that people try to get too complex with the mod maps. And they put so much stuff on there that you just kind of get burned out. It's like there's too much stuff. And then they don't really plan the roads well and stuff. The roads are too narrow. And I'm not saying that some of those issues aren't present in old streams. But I really like the map. It's a very small map. It's very simple. You start off with a lot of grass and a few regular fields. And it would be a really good like sheep farm, animal farm type farm, because you're not going to make a ton of money with crops. Like, you know, Coldborough and some of these other farms, you can make some decent money because you have huge fields. Bjornholm, the new version of Bjornholm. Some of these other, you know, you're bringing in anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 per crop on those farms, and that's, you know, I mean, that's decent money. And you can do that if you're playing it. If you're playing it every day, you can bring in quite a bit of money. But not so much with these small maps. So you almost need to find another way to make money. That could be pigs, cows, and people are saying these animals can be pretty profitable now. So I really haven't gotten that far in any of my series yet. We've started the pigs, obviously, on Goldcrest, but we haven't gotten them to the point where they're producing a lot of pigs. And they're worth about half what you buy them for. So you really have to, you want to wait till you like double the amount. And it sucks because it's going to be like that first investment is going to be pretty heavy because you're going to have to stop rolling. That first time you do it, you're going to be paying for well, hang on. The first time you do it, I mean, think about it this way. If I buy 100 pigs and then I have 200 pigs, I'm only going to get half back what I paid for the 100 pigs that first time because they're only worth half. So it takes 2 rounds of doubling your pigs before you're actually getting the same amount of money back. And then you have the food and all that stuff. So it's hard to make money with the animals. It really is. I think people are saying sheep are pretty profitable, though. I don't know. I haven't messed around with it, so we'll definitely have to get there because we've been doing a lot of mowing and sowing and just regular general farm stuff, but not necessarily doing those kind of things. So Goldcrest is the only farm that I have right now where we are doing a lot of animal. We've got cows, we got sheep, we got pigs, but we don't have a lot. In fact, I don't think I've even sold my first sheep pallet yet. So, but if we had like 100 sheep instead of 10, that might go faster. So I'd really like to get more sheep. Then we can up our grass production. We'll have to see. We shall see. Straw's not available. What? I didn't press to have straw. What are they talking about? It's interesting how Kyle cut this in half. I understand why he did it, though, but it's just funny. Where the heck is Kyle? Jeepers criminy. This is a pretty big harvester. I haven't run one this size for a while. Most of my farms have the little ones. It's a nice big cutter head. Thresher, or whatever you call it. Header. Pinwheel. Alright, let me back up here. So I feel like... Did we buy this or did I can't remember if the farm... I think the farm came with this. Maybe we bought it. Yeah, I think this is the one that we picked out. Because if I remember right, we had this choice or that horrible looking John Deere that I dumped. Oops, I gotta take a break here, folks. I'll be right back. What kind of tractor do you drive, Kyle?
On my farm?
Yeah.
A white 2135.
How old is that?
1978.
Wow, and you're still making payments on it. Oh, ouch.
Well, I haven't even made my first payment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you bought it used, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
14 grand.
Wow, that's crazy how expensive that is. But I guess, well, compared to a car, though, I mean, if you were to buy like a car that old, and this thing's all utility, so.
Yeah, it's an all-work machine,
Okay.
For a car, you're looking, $400 for a motor and 4 wheels and a place to sit.
Right.
My machine still does work.
Right. You're making money with it. Well, at least sometimes.
Well, right now it doesn't work at all.
What happened to it? Just no work, or the tractor's broken?
Every time I turn it on, it leaks from everywhere all at once.
Oh my gosh! I mean, what are you going to do about that? How do you fix that?
I just have to put sealant in all the joints, like where all the, it's for all the hydraulics, and it's wherever a hydraulic hose screws into something.
Okay.
I just have to take it out, put some thread sealer on the threads, and put it back in.
Okay.
Because that's where it's leaking from. It's just coming out of all of those spots. Because I guess whoever had it before either didn't use that stuff or just put a really crappy version of it that,
like wore through or like wore out.
Yeah, it corroded out or something. And so this spring, when it starts to warm up a little, I'll go out there and start pulling the tractor apart. And
do you now? That's not for the motor though, right? That's like all the joints, right? Like your.
Well, it's just all the hydraulic connections.
Okay.
All the hoses. to wherever they go.
Oh, okay. So how much sealant do you have to put in? Is it like something where you put a whole bunch in, or is it like a one-time
No.
thing? Or
You can like paint it on with a tiny paintbrush.
Oh, okay.
You just unscrew the end of the hose, and you just use a brush or something. You just put it on the threads,
Okay.
and then you screw it back in. And all it's doing is it's just basically filling up the gaps between metal, so the oil can't get out. It's basically just glue, but it's not super permanent. So if one day you need to fix something or something, you can get it back out.
Okay.
But, all it's meant to do is just make sure oil doesn't leak past all the threads. I'm guessing whoever sold that tractor to the dealer, they must have known it did that, and so they put on a really crappy glue on all the things, and it passed the inspection, so they bought it, and then it got to me, and it was just a mess.
Have you told the dealership that?
They because I still owe them money for the broken axle, they're not going to do anything about this problem.
You're like, what's going to happen? Like now, if you to do a payment reschedule, they're pretty cool about that though. Like they're not like.
Yeah, it's because it's the FSA.
Okay.
It's a branch of the USDA to help new farmers and stuff.
Okay.
The Farm Service Agency, that's what it is. And since I'm a beginning farmer, they have lots of things to help new farmers, get towards making money.
Cool.
And so all they do is they take the whole schedule of the loan and they just push it back a year.
Oh, that's cool.
And that way
it doesn't hurt your credit or anything like that.
Yeah. No reports are sent in. It's just like, it's doing a lot of paperwork just to change a couple numbers on years.
Okay.
So, because it's a 7-year loan.
Oh my gosh. 7 years. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Yeah. So, and with interest, it comes out to $2,500 a year. So.
Okay. Hey, are you able to get on or?
Oh, I didn't even know you had the server back up.
Yep. At least I think I do.
We shall see.
Knowing me, I might have just gone into single player mode and not realized it.
All right, here I come.
Here comes Kyle.
But
here he comes again.
But yeah, once I get this tractor done, I can start some, harder work on the property. And then,
what do you plan? Doing more grass or?
Well, yeah, do alfalfa hay, but what I need to do is finish fixing up the property. That way I can get a handful of goats.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to start raising boar goats to sell. And
wait, the boar goats?
Yeah.
What do those do?
They're meat.
B-O-H-R. Who eats a goat meat? Middle Easterners.
Muslims, Jews, Hispanics, Indians.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the Muslims and the Jews eating them because that's like a biblical herd.
Yeah.
But who was it? Jacob and Esau, and Lot. Like wasn't he raising goats? Trying to raise goats without blemish.
I don't remember, but
I can't stop. Oh, jeez, I almost rolled off the end of the field.
All right, where are you?
I'm running the harvester.
Where?
On field number 8. I've got
down at the bottom.
Yep, I've got all of the other field baled, so we should be all set there. So we'll have to collect all these bales. I think we'll sell the crop first, and we'll decide whether we want to get one of those bale stackers, or if you want to continue doing them by hand.
Let's sell the crop, see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what we have.
We could always rent the stacker.
Rent the stacker. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, or we could rent 2 stackers maybe. Get it done twice as fast. you want me to put my pipe out?
I don't know. Are you full?
I got to remember how to close. 89%.
Let's empty it now before you
Okay.
drive in. On the keyboard, it's usually O.
Did it not pop out?
Nope.
Crap.
Did you remember to switch your
No, I didn't.
selected device?
Is it
back
coming
to the
out?
Harvester. Nope.
How about now?
There it is.
I wish you could see it in the from the I'm driving in the cockpit. Ah, what a day. I love my new car. I gotta drive the other one now because it's been sitting in my garage for over a week.
Well, at least it's inside of something.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if it's inside of something, you can kind of go a little bit longer without having to drive it.
True.
The weather's not really getting to it.
Right. And I'll take it. I did, move it out of the garage today. I'm going to use it tomorrow to drive around. I have to make sure I rotate them evenly so I don't overdo miles on one and not the other. Is my pipe in?
Yep.
Sweet. I'm in the lead. Sweet.
Did you already start recording?
Yes, I am recording.
Oh, okay.
No swearing, please. Like you ever... I don't think I've ever heard you say a bad word. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard you swear, Kyle.
That's because we're always recording whenever we're hanging out.
That's true. I don't swear very often. My ex-wife was swearing like a sailor. We're supposed to get... She has herself set up as an 08 school. And the way that it's supposed to work, when my kids go to the college for their classes, it's the state is supposed to cover their books. Well, now they're like, well, no, we can't do that. So I had to go yesterday, and instead of paying my mortgage now, I had to buy like $500 worth of books for Ryan. So, I'll still get the mortgage paid next week, but it's just like, oh, now I'm late on my mortgage, and it's like, anyway. So she was trying to work with the people to get it paid for, and she called me, and she's just bleep 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 bleep. I'm like, all right. I'm like, are the kids in the room with you? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, honey, easy.
Yeah.
Like,
I won't cuss around children.
I'm like, dude, take it easy. I mean, I really don't. I do occasionally. It depends. Usually it's something like I stub my toe on something, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah. I use cuss words like a comma, so.
Military man, right?
Oh, yeah.
So are you sure about the A10 versus the F-16? I can't afford either right now.
Oh, I don't know. I like A10s are cool.
I'm thinking F-16 this year, though, because I think they're going to discontinue it. And then I won't be able to get one.
Well, then go ahead and... I'm sure someone's going to make that A10 for a few decades.
Right.
Especially
it's gonna be
if the Air Force gets their way and retires it for some stupid reason.
Well, and there's a bunch of A10s. I mean, they have bigger ones that you can buy, and they're about the same price, actually. An RC A10 is like anywhere from 110 to 120 bucks, and they've got ones that are like 30-inch, 40-inch, 50-inch. Now they start getting more expensive. You get above 40 inches, and they start getting into like the $200, $300, $400 area. But then they have cool features like flaps and retracts. Like that one that you showed me where they were flying around, and it had the what do you call that? The
Nerf gun.
Yeah, the Nerf gun. That was a like a 45 or 55-inch wingspan. It was a pretty big bird. And those have that awesome, like the presence. But now that I don't have my van, I have to really consider what I buy, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get that Trojan in my car. I haven't tried it yet, but I was looking at it the other day, and I'm like, I don't think this is going to fit. Like, I don't think it's going to go through.
Can you take your planes apart? Do they have like quick?
Yeah, no. I mean, there's screws and stuff that you can unscrew. It takes probably 15 or 20 minutes to do it. I may just end up selling it. There's somebody put a swap meet out, and I might just take all of my larger airplanes and sell them. Then I can use that money to buy some little ones. I really just like the little ones, and the reason being is because you can fly them anywhere. The big ones are really cool, and they're really impressive when they're up in the air. They draw a crowd, you know what I mean, because they're just freaking huge. But
you need 80 acres to fly them.
Right, you need a big runway. There's really only a few places that I can fly them. I can just take the little ones up to church and fly them out of the parking lot, So it's like, there's a lot of sky there. There's just not a lot of. They have
Yeah.
like trees, and you need like a 50-foot runway for the short little airplanes. You need a 300-foot runway for the 55-inchers. Because they roll out for a quarter mile before they stop rolling.
Sounds like they need to find a way to put brakes on them.
They do actually. Some of the more expensive models have brakes, like the jets and stuff.
All the ones that actually have jet engines.
Yeah, the jet turbine engines. Yep, they have brakes. I would be pretty scared flying one of those. It's funny. There's a video. There's a dude that has an F-16 that's orange and black. It's huge. It's got to be like 6 feet long, maybe. So it's a big airplane, and it shows him flying his maiden flight, and when he brings it in, has a real nice landing. Airplane goes down the runway and stops, and he sets the radio down and then just like falls over on the grass. Like just that like stress. Here comes you're flying a $10,000 toy,
Yeah, that is. It's an in-flight bomb. If it hits anything, it's gonna explode.
Oh, they explode. Yes, those RC airplanes explode huge when they fireball, smoke, everything. It's like a real airplane crash. I think they actually use real jet fuel for those.
Well, yeah, those little jet engines won't work with anything other.
Yeah, it's it's that pink stuff.
Yeah, you have to roll, 110 octane or JP10 or something.
What about that cool helicopter that you found?
That big helicopter?
Yeah,
was electric.
The RC. Yeah, it was electric. It had the what was it called? What do they call that? A Chinook, right?
Yeah.
I think it was awesome.
The CH-47 Chinook.
There was a guy for a while on YouTube that was selling. He was selling a turbine-powered Airwolf helicopters with like full lights and everything. Man, those things were cool. But they were also like $15,000. But they were huge, like twice the size of that helicopter. The bigger they are, though, the better they fly. With the RC helicopters, the little ones get squirrely.
Well, it's because there's no mass.
Right, exactly.
There's no mass under all that power.
I've got a bunch of little ones.
Well, that's why that one you're missing a lot.
I know. I'll go back.
But there was that Chinook that guy was flying was real stable because I'm sure it was just all the electronics were all along the floorboard.
Yep, heavy.
yeah, and they're super heavy, so.
Yeah, the helicopters are fun too because they're fairly easy to transport.
Well, in those ones you can fly them indoors.
Yes, or in small areas. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they don't require a runway to land and take off.
Well, I wouldn't fly that Chinook indoors.
I could in a gym. I would fly it in a gym.
Yeah, in a gym, but I wouldn't turn it loose in your house.
No. Yeah, that would be a
rotor
disaster.
wash and turn over everything.
Let's see. I'll have to come around from the other side.
I got blown away in Iraq by rotor wash from a Chinook.
Oh, it knocked you over, huh?
Oh, it didn't knock me over. It removed me from my location and displaced me about 15 feet.
Holy cow. Were you like, oof? Like when you landed?
Yeah, I hit hard.
Oh, gosh.
Because I was standing outside of the company headquarters, and the battalion sergeant major was standing just inside the door.
Okay.
And we knew helicopters were coming in, but we didn't exactly know where from.
Okay.
And we could hear them just because inside a base everything echoes, and so you're like, well, we know they're somewhere around here.
Wop 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 wop.
Yeah, you just hear those rotors humming, and then all of a sudden, the Chinook passes overhead. I look up, and then I get blown away by the rotor wash because they came in like feet over the top of our headquarters.
You're like, whoa! Hang on, how do I get out of here? Did you push through this gate?
No.
How'd you get?
I drove through the bushes from Field 9.
Oh. Can I fit?
You're not. No.
I think I can.
There's a fence in there and a tree.
No, I'm picking up the tree. All right. Where's the trailer?
Well, you got to start working on 7 anyway.
All right, I'll just go through the bushes. Ruin my header.
No.
What other fields do we have? Is this the last one? Let's see, 7, yeah. So 3 is not ours. 4.
We got to do.
Yep. All right. Man, I am so stuffed up.
Let's see here. Yeah, so 7 and 4.
All right. Yeehaw.
I think we should just go ahead and spend $1,000 and get rid of these extra wheels on the
Okay.
8R.
We can do that.
Put in wheel weights.
We'll make when we make the first trip down for crop delivery. I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. Achoo!
Bless you.
Achoo!
Bless you.
Achoo! Oh, this stupid cold. I feel a lot better today though, but I'm still not 100%. I got a lot of stuff done today though. Not everything though. I have a big project I gotta get finished tomorrow. Well, Friday really, but I'd like to be ahead of day. So what do you think our income from all this crop is going to be? I'm going to say 100,000.
What difficulty are we playing on?
I don't remember. Hard, I think. If you're bored, you can check and see what our... because we need to plow. And then we need to grow. But we need to sell first so we can afford the equipment.
Yeah.
Or we could just not bother plowing and lose 10%.
No, we need to plow. But we can turn loose. Well, no. So we could turn loose a worker with the bulldozer pulling that.
Oh, that's right. We have the bulldozer we can plow with. I forgot about that. Because I'm thinking, man, I don't think any of those smaller tractors are going to... They'll pull some, like a little plow, but... We'll rent 2 plows. We'll do some equipment rentage.
We can also rent the middle-size jumper, and the 8R can yank that thing around.
Yep. Oh, you want to use the triangle plows?
Yeah.
Okay. These subsoilers. Wow, this is a huge field. This was like deceptively giant.
Yeah. I would drive forward, about 100 more feet and then make a sharp right turn and cut this thing in half.
Really? Isn't it easier just to keep going straight?
No.
Why?
It's for the sake of loading and unloading your combine.
Well, that's a good point. All right.
You can do smaller laps, and that way you don't end up out in the middle of nowhere with a full machine. And just drive up towards the...
Right up to the middle.
Yeah. I was going to say drive up towards that little... that crappy little barn.
The crap barn. I'm going to the left of it a little bit. I think we're cutting it straight, though. It doesn't really matter. The field's like all oblong, wobbly.
Yep. Good old England.
Jolly old England.
Don't know how to make a straight line out of anything.
Well, there goes half my audience. Robert Langford right now is typing very angry comments. Every time I talk about how they drive on the wrong side of the road, I get nasty comments from everybody. They're like, now wait a minute. We created the car. We drove the first car. We designed the road system.
And then the rest of the world realized that was wrong and did it the right way.
I said it might be correct, but it's never right.
How full are you?
54. One more lap. I hear that thing chugging away.
Oh, yeah, guess I don't need to have it on.
Sweet. Though if you're not sitting in it, that's what I found out. You can leave them running. It's just you sitting in it that makes it, that counts against you. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You should not weird.
So, you know that towing mod?
No.
That Rowan towing weight set?
No, that's cool.
Okay. Well, someone made a mod that you can pull with, and to make it easier on the tractor, you can not have any weight in the tow bar.
Okay.
But what you had to do was you had to attach an entire weight set to the front of the tractor you were going to tow.
Okay.
And people kept like whittling it down to where it was just like a hitch bar that would only connect to the front two of the front two, the low members of the front 3-point.
Yeah.
And then somebody found a way to make it just the ring that hooks onto the front hitch.
Okay.
So if you have a tractor like, one that doesn't have a front 3-point, like, the Case 1455.
Okay, yes.
Well, you can just drive up to that ring and attach it, and then you can just leave the ring on the tractor because it's not very big.
Okay.
And then, if you ever want to simulate towing or something, or you end up in a weird spot where you can't get out, bring up another tractor, grab onto that ring, and give it a yank.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Now they just need to simulate getting stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
That's what Cattles and Crops is going to do. Did you see the video of them getting stuck in the mud? They brought in they're using a tractor, and then it got stuck in the mud, so they brought in a bigger tractor, and then they towed it out.
Is that a upcoming thing for the game, or?
Cattle and Crops is its own game.
Oh.
It's coming out. I believe they're saying that the beta or the alpha is going to be available in March. I'm in. I got myself in. I think I bought the $50 package to get in. But you can get in. I think 20 or $25 can get you like early access. But I wanted the full game, and then you also get like a couple other things. Like you get an extra tractor and stuff like that if you do the higher support pledge or whatever. So I guess, and we've talked about this a little bit, but I guess it's the company that made like the what's the big one? Not the GPS mod. The what's the one where people not follow me? The one where you can course play.
Oh.
It's the developers that made course play and some of these other bigger like game changing mods. They've decided to make their own game, and they have. I think they already have Dutzfar and Klaas as brands that you can get. I'm at 91%, by the way. Meet me at the tree. Whoa! You're too wide. Ah. I think you might have to go the other way and then angle it in.
See, this is why we need just wheel weights. 'Cause
Yep.
This thing just too fat with tires on
It is. I like the way it looks, but it's not really practical for our farm.
Well, it's almost too wide to fit through a lot of the gates.
Yeah, it is too wide, for sure. Hallelujah. What is this? It's barley. Should I be making? Should we make more bales? We probably should, huh? It's free money.
Yeah, I guess you can if you want.
Yeah. I thought for some reason I was thinking it was soybean, but I didn't. I just left it with the way it was configured. That was silly. Whoa! No! Come on, back up. Stupid me, wasting resources. If you want to go grab the 6115 and the baler and start baling behind me while we're waiting, might be a good idea. She's up there in the barn. Actually, might still be near the baler.
Where is the baler?
The baler's at the front end of the farm, kind of where the where you dump the grain.
All right.
Whoa, rocket harvester. That's not what I wanted. Turn my speed down to 12 knots, 11 knots. That works. What's up, Cho? What phone?
You sure the baler's over here?
Yeah, but it should be up front, like where the Rotec is. Oh no, it's at the other farm. Sorry,
Right.
I put it at was it Yatten Ridge? What's the sheep farm, the cow farm?
All right.
Sorry, habit. This thing's a monster harvester.
Not even the biggest one.
Oh, I know. I mean, the John Deere that we were using was bigger, but it was definitely uglier, too. That thing was a turd.
Well, someone made another... It's about the same size as the one you're using now.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's still
But,
pretty
like-
bad. It's still pretty low quality.
Yeah. I mean, it performs great. I've tried it, and it works awesome, but the textures and all that stuff are just awful.
Yeah, it's from 15. They had that same one on 15. I saw it. I was like, ah.
And the tires are, like, completely flat. Because even without a header on it, you're still got, like, massive amounts of tire squash.
That's funny.
And then you put the header on it, and I mean, it's like there's like maybe all of like maybe 5 psi in the tires.
How many psi do they usually run in harvester tires, do you think? Like 10?
No, it's usually like 40.
Oh, really? I know tractors, they were saying like 8. A lot of people run 8 on their tractors.
My neighbors, their tires are 80.
Whoa! Maybe it depends on what you're doing with it, too.
Well, I mean, like where we live, the ground is pretty hard. And,
Right, like if it's a soft, like muddy ground, you probably want much softer tires.
yeah, you want something that's going to float across the top of it. But out where we are, the ground is really hard, and you want something that'll, be able to stand up to it. Because if your tires are too flat, you'll just tear the tread off of them.
Right. You need hard compound tires, like freeway 50,000 mile tires.
Well, if they're just aired up nice and tight, you can be on a highway and be all right. Because that way the tire's like, it's firm, and so you're not rubbing your track or rubbing the track off, as you go. But when you have deflated tires on pavement, it will ruin the tread.
Now, when you, let's say you want to sell your bales, and I'm assuming you're baling the alfalfa, right?
Yeah.
How do you deliver? Do people just come pick it up, or?
Yeah, usually. They usually send their own vehicles.
Oh, that's cool. So you don't go
Yes.
you don't take it to market or something.
No. You just put you put up a ad in a flyer or something, or unless you've been doing it for years and years, and then everybody knows you're selling hay anyway.
Hey.
And people call you up and be like, "Hey, I want to buy some hay. How much you selling it for?" "Oh, this much." "Okay, I'll be by with the truck tomorrow."
Have you ever been too expensive where people are like, "Oh, that's too expensive"?
For my hay?
Yeah.
No, my hay's complete crap. So I automatically know to sell usually $5 lower than whatever whatever people pay for the worst price.
Now, why is it terrible? Like, can you make it better?
It's
or?
got lots of weeds and very little alfalfa. This field hasn't been taken care of in years. And
Now, will it get better with time as you do it?
no, I need to plow it and turn it all over, probably subsoil it, and just completely start over.
Are you going to do that or no?
Yeah, I might run oats the first time just to fix the soil.
Interesting. Do you have all the equipment that you need to do that, or how do you handle that?
My neighbors have a lot of the equipment, and they're just like, "Hey, borrow it if you need it."
Wow, that's really cool.
My tractor can run all their equipment. I can run the round baler. I can't run their square baler. That thing requires almost 200 horsepower to run.
Okay. Yeah, but all you really need, the round baler. Is that how you're doing it now? Like you run the round baler?
I'm probably going to be doing small squares.
Okay. Now, how do you do that? Do you have a different baler that does that, or do you?
Yeah. They have a baler for that too. I mean, they make everything because they sell their hay to pretty much everyone, and they have a couple guys down in New Mexico that like to have
The small bales?
They like to use small bales to feed their horses and stuff because they have show horses.
Okay.
And so they like to have small bales to feed them in the stables, and so it's usually on the second cutting when it's like almost completely alfalfa that we'll do a few rows of square bales, and we'll end up with like 200 or 300 bales.
Oh my gosh, because they're little.
Yeah, they're little, and their field makes tons and tons and tons of crop. And I mean, that small baler it'll be spitting out a bale about maybe every 10 feet.
Oh my gosh. That's cool.
And you have to bale really slow, and it'll kick out a bale about every 10 feet, and then we get to pick them up by hand.
Right, yeah, that's the one where you hand pick them up. Like, don't you take a tractor with the trailer and somebody just throws them up and the other person stacks them?
We usually have one stacker. We have a pickup with a flatbed.
Oops, hold on for 1 second. Hang on. Jeff lost his phone.
All right.
Ooh, round bales.
So, we usually use one of the farm trucks with a, with a gooseneck flatbed on it.
Okay.
And then you drive down between two rows of bales, and you'll have a guy on each side throwing them up on.
Okay.
And another guy's stacking them. And if you stack them, just right, you can get a whole bunch of bales on there because you stack them in a way that they'll interlock with each other.
Oh, right.
And
well, then do you just leave them on the gooseneck until you sell them, or how does that?
No, we have to take them all off and put them in a barn.
Okay.
We end up having to use that trailer for other stuff, like carrying other bales from other places and stuff.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Bale coming your way. I dislocated it.
That bale's on its way back to the shop. It might sell itself.
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, but for me, getting into boar goats, I'm gonna need small bales too.
Right.
So, but the arrangement will be, I use the small baler and they'll get a cut of the baling action as payment.
Oh, that's cool. Or could you do work for them, like in trade, or?
Yeah, but it's usually just easier to pay them in hay.
Right.
And if I reset that field, and do oats, they'll have some winter feed in small bales, which they like to have for their horses.
Oh, there you go. How big is your field again?
10.1 acres.
So is that enough to grow like a decent sized crop?
To meet like my goats' needs, yeah.
Okay.
My place can support up to 40 goats.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
Your goat support rate?
Well, that's 40 permanent goats. But, when it comes time, for breeding and having babies and all that stuff, each goat can make 2 to 3 kids.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so, there's going to come a time in which, the population on my property will be, at best, 120.
Wow. Don't you feel bad selling your kids?
Waka waka waka. But I'm only going to have those for a short time, maybe 6 months until they're weaned, and then I sell them.
Wean.
And maybe sell off a couple of the older ones and keep the pick of the litter to replace them. That won't happen for a couple of years.
How much money do you think you could potentially make per year doing that?
Apparently the market's pretty solid right now. This year I'm probably just going to start with 10.
Okay.
And work my way up to 40. Start with 10, say, keep those 10 and keep 10 more, and then, every year just keep 10 more until I get up to 40. But they said that the turnaround on it, you can make a pretty solid amount of money raising them, and especially if they're like really healthy and strong, because they'll, people will pay higher at auction for them.
Okay.
I can't remember what the running price is for them right now.
Whoa, missed the exit. So this is a 320 horsepower tractor, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. You need it with these hills.
Be nice if someone ever makes a square baler with a wrapper on it, or just a square bale wrapper, separate attachment. Because I hate round bales. My neighbors hate them too, but sometimes it's the only way to
so in real life they
by
don't.
yourself.
In real life they don't have them either, huh?
They make both square and round.
But not that wrap, right?
No. Yeah, you never need to wrap alfalfa. And actually, if you want the bale to silage a little, leave the bale out during the summer rains. Leave 40 of your bales out, so they can all get rained on, and then let them dry out and stack them back up, or let the outsides dry anyway.
Okay.
Stack them back up, and then come wintertime, they'll be silaged a little bit on the inside.
Oh, that's cool.
They're a pain to feed out because, you know, everything inside is just turned to pudding. You know, and so you're
Gross.
You can't just flake it off, because all you'll do is you'll just grab the top half of the flake, throw it off, and then there'll be the bottom half with a whole bunch of gooey stuff sitting on top of it.
Okay.
You have to kick that off.
It's gross.
Well, I mean,
Squishy.
it's not like pudding, but it's not dry like a bale should be.
Right.
You know, it's about as wet as it would be if you just cut it.
Oh, okay.
And so it's really gooey, and you know, it's not sticking together like a dry bale would.
Is it stinky?
A little bit.
Like silage smells pretty bad, doesn't it?
Mm,
It smells like
kind
rotted,
of
rotted
depends
grass.
on how long it's been, you know, cooking.
Mellowing. Mellowing in the sun.
Well, it's not actually doing it in the sun. It's silaging when it's all stacked up and it's in the dark.
Oh, true.
You know, because it's all happening inside the bale.
Gross.
And,
Stinky.
I mean, sometimes you will end up with a bale and it'll smell like it's been on, like there was a fire inside of it. And then other times you'll just get a bale and it just smells weird. It just smells like old hay.
But the animals don't care, do they?
No. That's their favorite stuff.
I just remember, speaking of animals, we used to have the chickens, and they would get so excited, like we were doing a project where we were digging something up, I forget what, and we were getting all these grubs, and the chickens were just, we'd toss them into the pen with the chickens, you know, like the grub.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the chickens would always inevitably grab it, and then they'd run around, and the chicken would be like making these weird noises, like with the grub. Like they just loved eating them, you know. They were like making little happy noises. They liked strawberries too.
We've seen cows start fights over, like when we're going in to feed.
Okay.
You know, as we're driving in, you'll see cows like getting into headbutting competitions with each other. You know, to be first in line for that good silage hay, because they can smell you. They can smell that trailer coming. You know,
like,
miles away.
Woo!
They're so excited for when you're bringing in the silage hay.
It's like going to Carrabba's and smelling the wood-fired grill.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but okay.
You've never had Carrabba's?
No.
What? Yeah, they probably don't have one. I mean, they've got one in Denver for sure.
Not gonna have one around here.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance, get the chicken parmesan with the noodles Alfredo. Everything's fresh made there. They hand make it while you're there. And then they have a wood-fired grill. And it just smells so good.
But yeah, they'll get into fights over that hay, and they'll start pulling it off the trailer as you're driving to the unloading place.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's nothing more irritating than when they chew enough of that bale apart that it just like collapses on the trailer. And then it's just a pain to feed. I hate when they ruin the bale.
That's so funny. So they come up alongside while you're driving and start picking pieces off.
Yeah, they'll start pulling it apart and popping the strings, and so then you get there to start feeding, and this bale's all blown out on the bottom. And it's a pain to feed it like that, because then the moment you cut the rest of the strings, the whole bale just starts to come undone because there's nothing left to hold it together.
Oh, it's time to pause for our station identification. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of Coldborough Farm. Tonight, Kyle and I have been working feverishly on getting our crops done so that we can turn around and sell this stuff and get some straw down to our cows, and so we can start producing manure, which we can sell and or use for fertilization. Probably we'll just sell it, but we'll see. And anyway, have a great night, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. And thanks for being part of this channel. Have a great night, and we will see you on the farm. Say goodnight, Kyle.
Night.